this went now. Like this shit turned off midway through. I didn't even need this shit, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel? You feel good?
Like, yo, big ready. I ain't these corny niggas, you know. I keep it on me, nigga. If you with your bitch, I might pop her like Tony, nigga. And it's playing from Sony, nigga.
Boom, what's the word? It's your boy Bizzy Banks, and we tapped in with On the Radar. That structure.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar live from Invite Only Studios in New York. Yo, Bizzy Banks is here with me today. What up, bro?
Where was good?
Yo, I've been trying to get up with you for a while, man. Ever since Get Money Takeover dropped, right? I was like, yo, I had people hitting me up to get you on the show. One of my boys who works for a record label was like, yo, this kid's next, and like the project is amazing. Specifically the Jesse McCartney sample, which I want to talk about today.
It's crazy because everybody that like that song, that shit mad slept on, but everybody that like it though.
Nah, it's dope, and I want to get to it, but you know, first of all, I know this is kind of like your first real like just sit down face to face on camera like full interview. So, you know, with people kind of getting to know you a little bit more and with, you know, your music taking off and also you growing outside of New York and growing in the country, tell me a little bit about where you from, how you got started in the music, and how we kind of got here today.
Alright, so I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I mean, I'm from East New York, but I spent a lot of time by my grandmother in the Heights, and for me, I spent a lot of time at my brother's crib in the Star, so that's why, you know, some people think I'm from the Stars, and for me, but I'm from the East, like the East where I really played outside of and shit. Well, the Heights too for me, but I mean, I really jacked the East, because that's where I, for me, did my first everything.
And there's like, obviously, of course, a big movement out of East New York right now.
Yeah. I got into music, I don't know, I was just rapping. I used to watch my older brother rap and shit, so I used to try to rap like him and shit, Lil Wayne, you know. I just like rapping with my older brother.
Right. How old are you now?
I'm 22.
So when did you kind of first like realized you had like a talent and you was like, maybe I could do this.
Grade.
Fourth grade? So you was 9 years old. You're 9 years old in fourth grade, right? Yeah.
Probably.
So you was 9 years old in fourth grade, listening to like old Lil Wayne tapes and your brother and shit like that.
So like fifth grade, I was graduating in fifth grade. Hell yeah, I was graduating in fifth grade. And my older brother, he cut school one day, but he always cut school that specific day for me. So I had woke up. When I woke up, I was already graduating. So it was like in the summertime. So I was already graduating. It was like 3 days before graduation. I just looked at the nigga. I'm like, yo, I ain't going to school today. The nigga like, I don't care, for me. So he was in the crib. And for me, now I'm seeing his life for what he doing when I'm at school. And he just, for me, like girls came over, niggas came over. They smoking and shit. And they just start freestyling and rapping and shit. So I'm just listening. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie.
Gotta call him 9 years old too.
Hell yeah. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. These niggas nice, bro. Really my brother for me. My cousin King used to rap too, bro. I used to be like, nah, this nigga nice, and then I really just started like rapping all day, every day. I used to steal his raps and tell everybody else that shit.
You would go to school, like middle school, and you'd be rapping for like the table. You got the girls on one side, and you spitting his bars. You like wrote them down in your phone. You was like, alright,
nah, I ain't gonna write that shit down. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you remember them like that?
My memory crazy. Hell yeah, I used to remember them shit.
Why did your brother cut school on like a specific day? I don't know, this is random, but I wanted to ask that.
I ain't trying to say, niggas grown now, so my mom's probably already knows. So I ain't gonna lie, my mom, she go to work mad.
I like how you still afraid of your mom, low-key.
She go to work mad early and come home mad late on that one day. So it's like when we wake up for school, she's not home, and then by the time she come off of work, like we already out of school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like nigga just stay home, and like she not gonna know.
She would never even think of it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So you got like a photographic memory is what you're kind of telling me.
Yeah, low-key.
So like, when you started, you know, obviously middle school, whenever, when did you kind of first get to recording?
Probably like 6th grade.
Okay.
I went to George Gershwin. That's a school in the East. Everybody call it Gersh. Niggas go there for the bowl tournaments in the summer. Okay. Gersh Park and shit. So I went there and they got like a studio in the school. So I started rapping in that studio. That's why I first like recorded ever. And that shit. It was like some program shit. I forgot the name of it, but it was an after school program. And like you couldn't curse, but you could rap about anything. You just can't curse. So I started fucking with that shit.
And then you were able to like record, and that's when shit started kind of taking off for you.
Yeah.
Cause like in 2019, that's kind of when you first really started to rise, and then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
The pandemic, as you would claim, but that shit was like really for you. You were one of the, and I've said this a lot because I feel like I've been getting up with a lot of people lately who have done very well during the pandemic, but you really did very well during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? You had the project, you had a lot of dope singles out. When the world kind of shifted and whatnot, did you feel like there was an opening? You know what I'm saying? Is that kind of, to really kind of push the music out and whatnot? Like when the world shifted, what happened? What was like going through your head?
It just gave me more time to focus. Hell yeah, so cause like that would have never happened. I probably would have been running around with bitches, spending money, whatever for me. But that's
not putting out a project.
Yeah, so for me, that's what I'm saying. Like when I did that, that's when I really got into like tape mode. Like nah, I'm gonna fuck around and do a tape. And just started doing songs. I ain't gonna lie, that shit helped me a lot. Got my catalog up, everything.
Because it put a lot of people onto you, like including myself, who I heard your name floating around. But it was when like, because I'll go to like the New York playlist on like Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, and I'll kind of like go through because like I want to know who's coming up, and I want to kind of be in tune with all the new guys coming up. And that's kind of when I first heard of you, because I had people at labels sending me your music, and I was like, oh shit. And then I listened to the tape, and the tape is dope. And I thought that was really cool. You were able to kind of like turn this shitty situation in the world into a moment for you, where you were able to kind of like...
I was dropping crazy, that's why. So it's like, nobody was dropping, everybody... I don't know, I feel like everybody just fell back because the world stopped. And that's when I was just the one, like, just really paying music out. That's why this tape called Same Energy, though. Sorry for getting into that.
You just kind of went right into it.
Because that's how true it is. Like, I'm really giving niggas the same energy. I'm not even playing. I'm trying to go with that same... While everybody falling back, chilling, I'm trying to just start dropping crazy again. Get everybody what they want.
Well, I'm gonna go back to GMTO in a second, but since we're on Same Energy, so Same Energy is the name of the new tape.
Yeah.
So on the way, summertime on the way, right? We don't have a release date, right?
Not yet, bro.
Summertime. So with this tape, right? So you're talking about giving people the same energy back. Obviously, so before the interview, I asked you, I was like, yo, okay, I thought that we was gonna get like a volume 2 or whatnot. Yeah. So why decide to kind of take this like lane shift, you know what I'm saying, to changing the name of the tape and kind of calling it Same Energy?
Because I'm in that same mode. I don't feel like I'm in a mode for volume 2 yet. I feel like I'm still, like took my shit mode. Like I'm able to took my shit from GMTO volume 1. So I ain't want to go straight to volume 2, especially because volume 1, I feel like that shit was a classic to me. For my first tape, I feel like I did very good. So I just want part 2 to, be even crazier. Like when I level up, that's when I go to part 2. I'm here now.
So once you have like a different level in the game, that's when you're like, alright, I'll feel comfortable putting this volume 2 out.
Yeah, facts. Cause I don't know. I'm heavy on like, I don't know. I listen to other people's tapes. I ain't gonna name no names, but I listen to other tapes. Like not even like.
How you not gonna give people? Like not the bad way. Okay, the bad way.
Got real rappers, like just artists in general. Like it's just certain tapes that's wild good, and then like they go to their second, third, and they be like. Feel me? So it's like
you feel like there's like a decline in like the quality of the music.
Yeah, so I feel like you should. Personally, I'm a Wayne fan. I'd rather call it 3 over 4 and 5.
Of course.
I'd rather call it 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5 is like. So you ain't have to name those.
5 was cool when it dropped.
Yeah, I feel like it just
cool
messed up. But then what bro had going on, like not even no bad shit, cause he's still nice, but it's just like. Should have just left it at 3 and just started naming them shit some other shit. That's how I feel personally. So that's how I look at it with my tapes. Like,
that's interesting. So with this project, how long do you expect it to be? Like, are we calling this like a full album? Like, what's kind of what are you kind of feeling out with it right now?
What you mean, like, is it a mixtape or album?
Yeah, mixtape, album. How long is it?
It's a mixtape.
Okay.
Probably be the same amount of songs. I feel like my song is longer this time, cause I feel like on the first tape I was just doing like 1 verse. I feel like this tape I did at least 2 verses.
You got a little more to say.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit longer, same amount of songs. I got G Bando on it. Regular
stuff.
Yeah.
And this is under Atlantic too, right?
Yeah, under Atlantic.
How did you first get signed to Atlantic? Like, how did that connection come about for you?
My manager Bach and
Shout out Bach.
Yeah, Ruby.
Shout out Ruby, of course. In the room with us.
Yeah, they cool with Orlando. Bloomberg at Atlantic, and basically he just came to one of my sessions and he was like just listening to me cook up and like talking to me and telling me like, I see what you got going on, like stay consistent, stay in the studio. And he stopped by like once or twice. Shout out Cody too. That's the A&R there. They stopped by a few times and then they just told me like, look, we like what you're doing. You know what I mean? Set it up. Spoke to my lawyer spoke to their lawyers. Got it going.
How does it feel being signed? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel the same? You know what I'm saying?
I feel good about it.
Okay.
I feel good about it. They help me with a lot. Like they just make me look at certain stuff differently. Like me, I'm a type of person, like I don't like posting on my Instagram a lot. They be like, nah, you gotta be active.
The
like,
same shit to me, bro.
Nah, yeah, they just teach me a little 1-2. Like, nah, you gotta post more. Like like even though your song's doing good, like imagine if you promote it way more and like feel me. So it's like they just help me with a little 1-2. They help me with I used to just drop songs whenever. Like I drop a song Sunday, like mad random.
On like a random ass day of the week too. Not even on like a Friday or like.
They told me like Friday like. That's when everybody look for new. That's when everybody's free. It's the weekend. Like drop shit Wednesday. Like
people be listening at midnight too. People be really on that shit.
Niggas be up. I ain't gonna lie. I was never one of those. I ain't never stay up at no midnight wait for a tape to drop. I'll catch me in the morning when I get up.
I feel like I could listen to like certain tapes at midnight and then like other tapes I'm like, you know.
I ain't gonna lie. That's how I was like kind of iffy about it when I started dropping like audios at midnight and then videos later. I'm like, what? Like,
right, because the videos like people like. Audio's different because you could like lay in your bed and kick it, but then like the videos like you gotta have like in the middle of the day. Like most videos premiere like what, like 3 p.m., 2 p.m., some shit like that.
Yeah, that's mad. Really, I don't know.
What time do you get up?
I got used to it though. I wake up different times every day. So I can't even tell you.
What time did you get up today?
I got up like 6 this morning today. I ain't gonna lie. I had to
so you had a long day.
I was going through some shit today.
Well, you know what? When it comes to the label stuff, did you ever expect yourself to sign to a label? I just was curious about that too.
Nah, not really. That was never in my thoughts. I just knew I was gonna be on. I ain't really think about signing. I ain't gonna lie. That came to me a little later. But that's what everything though. Like I ain't even care about jewelry, but for me, like now I got.
You got a few pieces on.
Yeah, so.
But it's a little something like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not overly flashy with it, but you got some nice shit on.
I be chilling. I got the Cuban under. I don't really like it hanging out. That shit look like I'm feeling. Like, under it.
So you got some other shit underneath.
Yeah, facts.
Wow, you don't like hanging out because you look like.
Nah, that shit look dumb. It started.
Because I got like my Cuban's way smaller than yours, but like I get it when you wear a hoodie, like it kind of like the way it drops under it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't feeling the flex that much. You know what I got?
Nah, thanks. But I want to go back. To the tape real quick because we spoke about the Jesse McCartney shit, right?
Yeah.
Yo, bro. First of all, what was funny to me about it today was because I don't know if you've seen the Young and Ace record where he samples what's the name of that record? The
that was on White Girls, right?
Yeah, the white girl record. And now I wonder, I'm making my way down to that shit, right? And so it was funny to me, that record was funny to me today because of the fact that record came out semi-recently too. How did you get to the point of sampling him? And like, when it comes to the clearance of that record, obviously I don't think you hopped on the phone with Jesse McCartney, but like, how did that kind of all come about?
When I heard the beat, I automatically thought of the song.
Okay.
So we was going through beats. I know the label probably gonna watch this, but I hate the label beats. I ain't gonna lie. Like they be sending me beats, I be like, this don't even sound like me. You feel me? But when we stopped on that beat, I automatically started singing "Beautiful Soul," and I was already on the phone with somebody. I'm not gonna name that because I talked to somebody now, so I'm gonna leave that there.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, so I was on the phone with somebody. And when I started singing it, they were like, nah, you should that. I'm like, nah, right? And I just went in the booth and I was like freestyling and playing with it, and that's how I came up with it.
You're beautiful. That shit was hard. That shit came out crazy on the tape.
A little hood version of that.
Yo, I would love to see, first of all, if you ever like met up with Jesse McCartney, that shit would be fucking hilarious. Like, you know, cause like, you know how they be on TikTok, right? And like, it'll be like a record that samples something or something like that, and they'll meet with like it'll be a rapper meeting with like the person that made the record. You know what I'm saying? That would be hilarious if y'all met.
That'd be mad.
Like, what would you even say to him if you met him and you were like, you played him this record? I'm sure he heard it, but like, what would you even say to him if you like presented this record to him and you're like, look at what I did?
I don't know. I'm funny. I don't know,
you make a joke about it?
Yeah. Hopefully he like Justin Bieber. If he like Justin Bieber, it's gonna be simple. Justin Bieber regular, he like one of the homies, so. I used to pull up on him like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I had to throw a little hood version of that. Like, let me just throw it on.
Would you pull up to Justin Bieber too?
Yeah, I'm saying like Justin Bieber look like, for me, Justin Bieber be around, you know, and shit. So I'm just saying like, I feel like the approach would be the same.
Okay. Like he's approachable. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you walk up to him and you could be like, yo, Bizzy, and I did this record and it sampled you.
Yeah, like yo, you know that Beautiful Soul shit you did? Yeah, I did a little hood version of that, like.
And they probably fuck with it too, honestly.
Tap into that, nigga. Like,
hey, you know, since we talking about samples, you had like the One Blood sample on Pandemic, which was, first of all, great record to start off the year with. You know what I'm saying? I think. Oh, and the fact that it's like the last record that you dropped on DSPs, that was like a single and whatnot. I feel like even now it's still carrying and it's still doing what it's supposed to do. You know, millions of views on YouTube and whatnot. With that record, why did you want to start the year off with that record? And is there like a story behind that sample too? Because that sample is also very, very dope.
Nah, yeah, that sample was dope. Shout out Junior Reed. The Game also did that sample. Shout out to them too. It's not really like a crazy story. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out A Loud. He be sending me some crazy beats. So I was just chopping it up with A Loud. I'm like, I'm in the studio. I don't got shit right now. And he just sent me like 4 songs. But when I be in the studio, I be all over because I ain't gonna lie, studio being fake spacious. So I'm just all over, make my little 1-2 moves or whatever. And
yeah, like walk around and shit like that.
Yeah, and my manager Love for me, Free Study. He going through the beats and he play it. And he like, nah, this one crazy. I'm like, what you talking about? And I started listening. Then once I heard the One Blood shit, I was already on it. So it came to dropping it for the new year, cause every time like I used to listen to the radio when I was younger, I always used to hear that One Blood.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'm like, nah, to start the new year, be crazy, be going with that. Like, so that's really how everything happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, that's crazy, and that was a great record, and like the fact that like you put that record out in January, right? And like you know what we in May right now, and that record is still the only record you put out this year for the most part, like crazy, crazy. And you know this past month you've been in the news a lot. You know what I'm saying? You've been on the blogs and all this stuff like that with this situation with CJ and the music stuff and the bars and the lingo and all this. For you, I wanted you to come on here and I wanted you to speak on the situation and kind of give your opinion and your take on it and kind of how you feel personally about everything that's going on, including the blogs weighing in on it and things like that.
Yeah, personally, I don't really bump him, so I ain't never really, it's not like I hear it and I really get mad. I mean, it's just like most of my supporters or like, you know, niggas I fuck with will be like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this nigga fake sound like you. Like, yo, even like my mom friends, like they older, like they don't even bump rap music, but they hear the radio. I swear they like niggas, they'll hit my mom's like, yo, I heard your son, and they'd think his shit was my shit.
Oh shit, okay.
Like, for me, like that ain't my shit, like for me. So when I like one day I just got tight and I just had to make a post. Like I'd rather the nigga give me credit. Like I know he bumped me. I mean, his sister bumped me. So it's like you can't say you never heard of me before. Like you know who I am. I feel like that's why he replied. But for me, I don't really feel away. For me, I don't care about that shit.
Do you feel like that situation is more like he straight up just took that shit, or do you feel like it's an influence? Like, what do you think about?
Nah, yeah, I definitely feel like it's an influence. For me, you see how the streets feel. Like we go through the comments and everything. You see everybody reply when they share it. Like they
right,
saying
like
that's my shit.
Neek and all them. Yeah.
Even the people that don't know me, for me, like that people that's not from New York, they see it. So it's like.
When it comes to like people from outside, obviously, you know, Brooklyn drill is very much centered in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? There's other people from New York who do drill, but when it comes to like outsiders doing drill that aren't from Brooklyn, do you feel a way about that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even in just that situation, but just like
I don't feel a way because you gotta remember Chicago started drill.
Of course.
So that's like asking them niggas if they feel a way because we do drill right now. Like, I don't feel away about nothing. Niggas can rap about what they want to rap about. I just feel like they take whatever I got, give me my credit. I mean,
or
I ain't saying throw me on the song, but just be like, nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Or saying like, oh, this lingo came from.
Nah, not even lingo specifically, because everybody use the same lingo eventually. I'm just saying like my style, my flow, like give credit. Like when I did Quarantine Freestyle, I gave credit to SB. I said in the song like, feel like SB, so I had to turn up the Cardis like. I was bumping him. He the reason I made the song. If you in tune with Shawnee Bin Laden, for me, you know how he rap. You know how he, for me. So it's like I just gave him credit, like, for me.
To show love.
Yeah, you gotta show love when you take shit.
You mentioned Chicago drill. For you, how big of an influence was that on you, and who were your influences from that?
I bumped a lot of Chief Keef. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody come on.
The influence was huge, cause when they got like 2013, I think I'm in 8th grade at 2013, so I'm probably like how old, 12, 13. That's when I really just...
Because you're 22.
Yeah, I'm 22 right now.
22.
So I'm probably like 12,
24, so yeah, so I was about 14, 15 with Chief Keef.
Yeah, so that's when niggas was really outside, that's when niggas was really like introduced to street shit, so when he came around rapping that shit, it's like, that's when my life started getting into that shit, so I really used to fuck with Chief Keef heavy. I used to fuck with Herb heavy. Fuck with Dirk heavy now.
Yeah, so I'm happy Dirk getting what he always deserved.
Nah, hell yeah. A lot of LA Capone. I ain't gonna lie, I was really a Chief Keef fan, like straight Chief Keef, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I tapped in with everybody from Chicago. I was really a Chief Keef fan, and then probably like around 2015, I tapped into Herb. Yeah, definitely tapped into Herb around 10th grade. I think that's when Welcome to Fazelland dropped. You know, you took forever to drop that shit. And then that was Dirk, 100%.
It's funny to see, like, 'cause when I had Dusty on, he said Herbo was like his big influence. So it's cool to see that Chief Keef is yours, because it shows like the duality. Because Herbo and Chief Keef are two different artists. You know what I'm saying? They do their own style.
He came out with that swag. Like he ain't just, he came out with a lot more. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Chief Keef fake made it cool for mumble rap. Before Thug came out, and then Chief Keef was really the first one, like, mumble rapping. Like, niggas couldn't understand him at first. You know what I'm saying? Like. So he I ain't gonna lie, he changed the game a lot. He changed the game more than just drill. So that's why I fuck with Chief Keef a lot.
And I wanted to ask you about your friendship with Stunna Gambino, because when I had Stunna on the show about like a month or two ago, he expressed to me that, you know, he works with very few New York artists. Obviously you, Neek Bucks, very small list. And I feel like to some extent you're also the same. You know, you keep it locked in with your guys. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I wanted to ask you about that relationship, and if, you know, you're, you know, okay with just working with your people, or you want to end up working with more eventually?
I don't know. Stunna family, you know, we locked in, so I know his people, you know, my people. So that's really how me and Stunna got together, for me. And I actually did the song with Stunna. Like, he didn't even know I was gonna get on that shit. Like, we chopped it up and we did a whole nother song. And then one day I was in the studio with my manager Ruby and his manager Ricky. And I just told the engineer, I'm like, yo, pull up that song you recorded for Stunna. And then I got on it, and they was just fucking with it, and then it was different for me, so I was fucking with it even more. So that's how me and Stunna really got locked in. And
dope.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I could work with other people. I'm open with other people though. Like, to work with other people, like, I'm open for it. But like, I don't go looking for that shit. Like, I'm cool where I'm at. Like, nobody was trying to hit me before.
Right. Yeah, and when I was scrolling through your gram, because, you know, I got to go through all the social medias to inspect things and kind of come up with questions, see what you've been doing over the years. I noticed that, like, your oldest post, and I think it's from like 2019, is with Pop, right?
Yeah.
And I've listened to some of your freestyles, and I've heard you showing love to him and whatnot. With that, and what's important on this show, especially when it comes to like people who we've lost in the culture and whatnot, is just to kind of like show love, pay respect, and pay homage to them. So I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite memory that you had with him, and what was that relationship like between the two of you?
My favorite memory with him, because he passed, is when I first met him. Right? Because when I first met him, he was in the studio with my son Love, for me. And Love called me because Love wasn't really tapped into like Brooklyn drill, so he ain't know, like, he don't know who fuck with who don't fuck with who. You know, he older.
You're a little nervous.
Yeah, he older, so he don't really know. So when he called me, he like, yo, I'm in the studio with Pop. He like, you fuck with him? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't really know him. I had just came home, so that's like when he dropped over to the party. That's when he was heating up. I wasn't home. Like, when I came home, he fake was already big. So
right.
So when he
it was after the first Meet the Woo tape drop.
Nah. Yeah, I think it did drop.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I believe the Woo 2 dropped last February. Yeah.
Yeah, fact. So it definitely dropped. So it's probably like months, like October 2019.
I think that's summer of 2019 is when Welcome to the Party was everywhere. So you came home
in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, facts.
So around the time that Welcome to the Party was blowing up. Yeah.
So the tape was already dropped. Yeah. So like in October for me, he like you fuck with Party? Like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know him though. For me, like, I'm gonna call you back. So then he called back. When he called back, Pop was on the phone. Pop was like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm like, what's good? Like, we chopping it up and shit. He like, you trying to come outside? I'm like, yeah, for me. So first he trying to figure me out, cause he not really in tune with my music. Like, he in tune, but he don't really know where I was outside. Like, what's
y'all different areas, too. Yeah.
From the floor, from the east, but I be in the style. So he just trying to figure me out and shit.
He trying to see if you cool.
Yeah, basically, for me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up on you. So then he sent me an Uber. I pull up on him. He told me to play some songs for him and shit. And we just started chopping it up, and he just started, like, you know, the tape definitely was out. Volume 1 definitely was out.
The first one was there.
Because he was playing the tape. And after the tape, you know, if he started playing some unreleased for me, then he started telling me, he like, yeah, I'm about to get off this drill shit. Like, I'm about to get off this street shit. He like, I'm trying to be, like, for me, legendary. And now, from me meeting him that day and him passing, like, and you see where he at now, #1 Billboard, everything
broke like
crazy.
1 million records already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy because when I met him, that's the type of time he was on. Like, he knew what he wanted. Like, nigga really manifested that shit. So
he said what he was gonna do, and he did it.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah, he did that shit quick as hell.
That's crazy. Thank you for telling me that story.
Nah, hell yeah.
That was a little deeper story than I thought you might have told me. You know what I'm saying? Not that I didn't expect, like, because, you know, when people tell me stories about Pop, you know, sometimes the stories are just like, oh yeah, we hung out in the studio and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But that story, like, it just kind of shows how much one, he meant to you and the short time that you guys got to spend and be friends and cool and whatnot, but also kind of like what he did for the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying? Even everybody out right now, like including yourself, like he kind of really
I definitely
paved that way for the lanes to be, for the multiple lanes to be open.
I didn't even like jewelry until I met Pop. Like niggas like Brooklyn drill rappers wasn't even flexing in jewelry. Like you had Jizzy Mulan and shit, but like I ain't gonna lie, Pop just made that shit look cool, like buzz down layers. Like for me, I started liking that shit because of Pop. I ain't even gonna lie, Brooklyn rappers wasn't doing that. Like he definitely made shit different. I ain't gonna lie.
After you left the studio, you was like, maybe I should go get some. Maybe I should go get a piece.
Nah, most definitely.
And something recently that happened to you that's amazing is the XXL freshman 10 spot voting. First of all, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Because even just to be on the voting is like a huge accomplishment. Shows how much work you put in. Yeah. The buzz around you, all that. For you, what did that mean to you when you got the call that you was up for the 10 spot and that people could vote for you? Obviously, voting's done now, but what did that mean at the time?
It was big to me because I used to just be in the crib watching that shit, waiting to see who's gonna make the list, and for me to be on the list is crazy. Like I don't know. I was chilling though.
Do you care about the accolades?
Nah, not really.
That doesn't mean anything to you. It's just whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if I make it there, then for me that feeling might change. Like, oh shit, I'm on XXL. Like it's crazy, but other than that, like right now, nah.
I think the stuff with the XXL is interesting because I with Fabi being on it last year and obviously Pop being an honorary mention, I think that New York artists are more representation when it comes to the drill stuff and just
they
what
definitely showing love now with that.
What y'all done, you know what I'm saying? Like especially what you've been able to do during the pandemic, like you really kind of you did your thing and now we're at a point now where there's a bunch of new quote unquote new new to everybody else, but not new to us here in New York, that are all kind of at the forefront and that were also nominated at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you feel like where do you feel like the drill wave is at now? Like, what is your personal thought about the current like state of it? And like, do you feel like we're still in a good place with it? Do you feel like it's still kind of like an upward slope, or do you kind of feel like we're plateauing? Like, what do you kind of feel about this right now?
I don't know. I feel like as long as me and my niggas here, like. For me, this shit's still at a good part, good stage. Hell yeah, like, it's only going up with New York. I ain't gonna lie, New York got mad talent. Like, it's a lot of niggas other than me and Bando and Ka, for me, that got the city really shaking, for me. So, I feel like we're in a good place right now.
I think that, now when you mentioned the Pop thing about kind of changing his sound and stop doing drill and whatnot, even on your tape, you kind of experimented with some other sounds, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously you do drill and that's what you're known for, but you also kind of were able to switch it, even with the Jesse McCartney record, you were able to switch it up and kind of take a different approach with it. When it comes to kind of switching that aspect of your sound, what do you kind of hope to show more of that? Do you hope to show more of that in the future? And like, if so,
hell yeah, I really go with beats. Like, if I get a good beat and I could come up with some good shit, then I'm doing it. Like, I don't care what kind of beat it is. Like, it could be some old school Jay-Z shit. Like, I'm gonna do it. Feel me? I'm gonna do
that shit would be hard, yeah.
Nah, feel me? So definitely, like, that's just me as a person, and my music is me. So for me, I'm always gonna try to switch it up. Or sometimes people don't want to hear the same thing. Like, I'll bump Herb for like 5 minutes, and I'm trying to bump like 42 Doug or some shit, and then I'll go into A Boogie, and then I'll go into some Drake. For me, so it's like, I know if I want niggas to really bump me, like, I want to be able to be like, nah, if niggas in a love mood, niggas can bump Hold You and Beautiful Soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want niggas to just be like, alright, I'm tired of drill, let's bump some other shit. Like, for me.
Nah, facts. Who are some artists that you want to, not even specifically from New York, but like, who are some artists that you want to get up with on like a future project, or, you know what I'm saying, just kind of in a, in a more like global sense or more like country sense? Like, who are some more, not like countries and like country music, but like other artists from around the country, who do you kind of really want to hope to get up with, whether it be on this next project or in the future, or,
I fuck with Herb.
Herb, of course.
Fuck with Dirk.
I feel like you and Dirk could definitely get a record going. Dirk be going crazy lately, linking with everybody.
Yeah, that nigga eating shit up. Fuck with Dirk, Herb. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Those are the niggas I'm bumping right now. So those are the people that could come. Other than that, just me, Bando, whoever reach out.
And being in New York, I also kind of like to ask this question. For you, what have been, I guess, some of the more challenging moments that have been in your career? You know what I'm saying? Because like when you go through the New York music industry, it's obviously murky waters. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things going on, a lot of people talking, this and that. What have been like, I don't know, what have been some defining moments for you, whether they be good or bad, in your career?
I feel like my career just started, so I don't feel like...
Well, you know, early on in your career, you know what I'm saying? Or since we've been here.
Re-ask that question.
What do you feel like has been okay, let's do like the last year. What do you feel like was like a defining moment for you, or like a moment that really kind of, I don't know, maybe changed the way you looked at this music thing, like good or bad?
Well, when my tape dropped.
When the tape dropped.
Oh yeah. That's what I like about my new tape. That's on the way, cause I feel like GMTO Volume 1, I feel like it was no skips, but I feel like there's certain songs you could skip. Like, just because a song is not dirt, down mean you can't skip it. Because when I listen to certain people's tapes, it's like, I'll probably like 2 songs, 4 songs, and I'll talk to somebody else, they be like, nah, you ain't bumped this one. So it's like, I feel like with same energy, it's literally no skips. Like, you just hear the elevation of my music, but the first tape made me think to make my second tape like that. I feel like if the first tape ain't dropping, I ain't look at the numbers and the streams and see what niggas is really fucking with, seeing what I would have never started making music how I make it now. Like, I took way more shit than I was before. Like, before I was just on some cool, humble, like, alright, I'm lit, whatever, we gonna do whatever. But now I'm really talking that shit. Like,
did you expect the fan reception that you received from that tape? Like, obviously I'm sure you knew it was gonna do well, but did you expect it to do as well as it did?
Nah, yeah, when I saw that shit was on Billboard, I think for like the new music, I forgot what it was labeled for, but that shit, I ain't gonna lie, that shit surprised me. Same shit with Apple Music, my shit, I think the highest my shit was like 32 or some shit when it dropped.
Right.
For the first week, so I'm like, nah, that shit crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when I started seeing shit like that, I'm like, oh nah, cause like when I first dropped my tape, like, I don't know, like, we was in a pandemic, so nobody was really outside, so I wasn't like seeing who I really was, cause I'm still around the same niggas doing the same shit for me. But now that I had dropped it, I started seeing different like interactions, which is different celebrities started hitting me up, like,
you got some crazy DMs, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you about that because those are personal, but with the Billboard stuff, because thank you for reminding me, like, that was crazy too.
Nah, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's different. That's a different bag now. When you saw, I know you mentioned we talked about the accolades already, but did that that's a different type of accolade. Did that kind of hit you any differently?
When I first saw it, I'd be smacked, bro. So when I first saw this shit, I just saw, I be pronouncing his name wrong, Tusi,
yeah. I actually had Tusi on a few days ago. Shout out Tusi, man.
Right. I kept seeing that screenshot. Yeah, but his shit was #1. I think he had dropped the tape, the Platinum Heart shit. It was #1.
Yeah, that was last year.
So I'm like, I'm writing in the chat. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, that don't got nothing to do with me. You feel me? Like, nah, I know who that nigga is. I ain't gonna cap like that, but I'm just like, that don't got nothing to do with me. Like, feel me? And then they like, nah, the other shit. So I'm like, I'm looking, and I just see my shit at the bottom. I'm like, oh nah. I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
Smacked out looking for you. You're like, where my name at?
Nah, yeah, I didn't even know if I was. I don't know why they were sending that shit, but I just be in the crib. I be moody, bro. So niggas start sending me shit. I be looking at my phone like, oh, what y'all niggas sending me? That's TJ. This one, like, they not saying none of them. They saying Bizzy Banks. Like,
it's different than what they've done before.
Yeah. Nah, for me, like, I just don't sound like nobody. Like, you're not gonna be able to be like, oh, he sound like Jay on this. Or,
right.
They're gonna Bizzy Banks.
They're not gonna be able to like listen to it in the car and then be like,
hey, this sound like Jay. Like, cause Hoju, I ain't gonna lie, Hoju faking that lane, so I see what people were saying, like, but you don't care about that. You don't care about the comments and shit like that. I don't care about none of that shit, but I'm just saying, like, this one they gonna be like, alright, that's Bizzy Banks. Like, for me, it's good to have your own sound. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, dope, yeah. And then visuals. We gonna have a bunch of visuals for the project too.
Yeah, way more visuals than last time. I ain't even playing this time.
I know. I saw you drop the beatbox remix, right? The beatbox freestyle. I'm sorry, freestyle. That was, and I was like, okay, cool. This is dope because obviously between pandemic and now there hasn't been a lot of content, but you did that.
And I just hit a mill too.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. Not a lot of those freestyles have hit a mill like that, so that's really dope. So visual wise, what else you got more in store for this project and whatnot? I'm assuming as well.
Yeah, definitely. You about to start dropping some singles, start rolling into the project. So probably drop like 2 singles.
First single on the way.
May 14th.
May 14th. So
not this Friday.
That'll be this week. That'll be by the time we drop this week, I think. Yeah, sure. May 14th. May 14th.
City High. Probably gonna be on all streaming platforms the time y'all
want. What is it called?
City High.
City High. Yeah. Dope. So we got that to look forward to. And Pandemic is technically the first single off the project, though, right? Or is this the first? Or you
Man,
continue?
Pandemic on the project. So it's the first.
It's the first single of the project. Okay, so the second single of the project.
The second single of the project.
Project coming sometime this summer, or maybe early summer. Anything else you got on the way that the people got to be on the lookout
I'm
for?
bugging. I could leak that feature. Not leak it, like post it. I could. Huh?
Which one? The deluxe you talking about?
Nah. Shit, we about to go to Cali to shoot.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we got a feature.
Yeah, I got my son PNB Rock on the tape.
Very dope. Very dope.
Exactly.
I like PNB because I like how PNB really be fucking with up and coming artists too. He does a really good job of that, like Dirk does. Like he really be showing out, and he's on Atlantic with you, right?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Actually, funny story about PNB Rock. It's weird that I'm telling this in an interview, but PNB Rock was like the first Atlantic artist I ever interviewed in college.
That's fine.
We went to the studio, and that's when I forgot what the name of the tape was he dropped, but it was one of his first tapes. I remember the first thing he did when we walked in the studio was he was like, "Y'all want to hit?" First shit he ever said to me. Mind you, I'm there with like these kids from like the TV club in college coming to film this shit. Shit was crazy. But that's dope that you got PNB on the tape. That's on this record coming out. It's just on the tape.
Yeah, it's on the tape.
Dope. All right, so tape's on the way. Video on the way for that record with PNB as well. Anything else you got? The people got to look out for from you?
Man, tune in, man. I just found out I had a website. So tune in to my website, BizzyBanksOfficial.com. Some merch gonna be dropping on that shit soon. Follow me on Instagram, GMTO Bizzy. Twitter, GMTO Bizzy. I ain't gonna lie, I started playing GTA. Yo, I be watching T Grizzly play GTA.
Yo, those role playing shit, right?
So I
Shit
just started
crazy.
playing that shit. So for me, follow me on Twitch too, cause I ain't gonna lie, I be up there acting a fool. Just type in Bizzy Banks, I'm gonna pop up.
I think it's funny how you normally at the end of an interview I'll be like, let them know where to follow you, but you already did that for me. So I appreciate you. Make sure you go follow him and everything. Check out the website that he just found out he had. Twitch, watch him go play some role playing, GTA, you know what I'm saying, running up on people's cribs and shit like that type of stuff.
Alright.
New tape on the way, same energy, new single on the way, all that good stuff. And until next time, Bizzy Banks on the radar, baby.
That's structure.
My guy.